For centuries, man has been fascinated by the sea and the creatures which inhabit it. Among the ocean's most amazing animals are the cephalopods, that family of marine animals which includes the octopus, squid, and cuttlefish. The intelligence of cephalopods has long been known by science. However, it is only recently that significant studies have been conducted into how these marvelous animals communicate amongst themselves. Scientists at the Hopkins Institute of Marine Science, led by Dr. James Thurgood, have conducted research over the past 5 years regarding cephalopod communications.
What we found was a definitive link between the experience level of one octopus and the learning curve of another. In short, when the inexperienced octopus is placed in a water tank with an octopus already exposed to a particular problem, say the chimp test, and it knows the solution to that problem, the inexperienced octopus will learn that solution faster than if it had been on its own. So we asked ourselves, does the experienced octopus communicate its learned behavior to the inexperienced one? If so, how?
It is well known that cephalopods have a tremendous capacity for color change while also having very good eyesight. The ability to change color and skin texture rapidly is used for camouflage and to signal mood, such as anger or the desire to mate. But science has found no correlation between color change capability and the increase in learning speed.
Even when the octopods were separated by a screen so no visible contact could be made, as long as they were in the same body of water, learning was expedited. It was only when they were separated by an airspace or by a sound barrier that learning occurred at a much slower rate. So we started looking into the possibility of auditory communication.
This was an extraordinary step for scientists to take, as it has long been thought that cephalopods did not have the capacity to vocalize. However, since it is known that many marine animals vocalize in high-frequency ranges, that is where initial investigations were conducted. The results were negative. Then, in May of 2004, a breakthrough came from a most unexpected source.
If you could give us your name, please.
Martin.
You don't need to speak into the mic.
Martin. Yeah, I've heard what the scientists are saying. So I'm the sanitation engineer here. It takes a lot of respect and effort for the job. So I used to go through their trash. This is my castle, and I am the jester. This is mine, right here. Got that at a Goodwill. Here's all the books that I've got. I love reading except for the word part. While here, I have to make sure everything goes right. I actually don't keep the gear here, except for my Patricia. These are to make sure everyone is not dirtying the place. Some people call it stalking, I call it aggressive observation. A telescope for me to observe the dirtiness in its natural habitat. You may be wondering, how did this dude figure out the problem? And I'll tell you how. I was in the dumpster just looking around, and I found some of the stuff that they're just throwing out. Some weird stuff, man. Just weird. Anyway, during my break, I was out by the bushes in the back. No one can see there. And I was just looking at the waves. The long and slow waves. They were really something. Did you know they come from Japan? No one ever notices that. No one ever, have you ever really thought about it though? Those long and slow waves. They come all the way from Japan. And that's when I realized long frequencies, slow wavelengths. I just remember I did scream. The neighbors were concerned that night. It was a good day.
The janitor? The janitor. Just a second. God damn, janitor. Of course, we were thunderstruck. After all, my team had no luck with our research, so we passed it off to one of our grad students.
Well, when I first signed on to this project, I thought these guys were nuts, but, grant money's grant money. But, well, Jesus, wouldn't you know, these low-frequency, long-wavelength waves, those are the key. So, you might be thinking to yourself, if octopus don't have vocal cords, then how do they make sound? Well, you see, that's the cool thing. When they go to breathe, their mantle pulsates and draws water in. And then when they release it, it runs over their gills. And you see, that was it. That was the low-frequency hydrophonic pressure waves.
As the theory goes, when the mantle of the octopus contracts and it expels water through the siphon, it emits a very low-frequency whistle, if you will, by which the octopus communicate. Due to a recent change of hats and reallocation of funding, there was no equipment available to us to record such low-frequency hydrophonic modulation underwater. We were really into new territory. Don't know where the money went. Didn't go to me.
Scientists and engineers spent many hours testing and refining recording equipment, but eventually teams were sent to the Pacific Northwest, home of the giant Pacific octopus. There, preliminary recordings were made and taken back to the Hopkins Center for evaluation.
Once again, we were stalled by technology. First, the sound was of such low frequency, it was barely recordable and virtually inaudible to the human ear. But when it was amplified, it was as if it were very melodious, almost ethereal-like. Kind of like those little radios you put in your room to put yourself to sleep at night. Once the audio issues were overcome, the question was, how will we know what the sound means? Did you know they put me back on the second floor? They thought I'd communicate better to the managerial staff. But now I'm just covered in paperwork. I don't know what to do with myself. I have 3 spreadsheets I need to get done by 2, and it's already 3. I just want to get back to my lab. I just want to get back to my lab, please. Just a minute.
Again, scientists turned to an unlikely source. It was found that Ping Blue Moon, a psychic from Marin County in California, had developed a software program which she said could translate dog barks into human speech. Dr. Salisbury reluctantly turned to her for help.
Animals are like our brothers and sisters. And this doctor came up to me. He was like way cool. And he was like, "Can we get your help?" I was like, "Yeah, sure." But he was like way uptight. And I was like, something's gotta chill. So he sent over this guy, Mitzi, who's like a total Baldwin. And our karmas were like right on. And anyways, animals are like so cool.
Psychic? Got a psychic. Ooh, can you see into my mind? What does it look like? We can just talk to the octopus with our minds. No, I'm fine. I'm okay. You know, when you're telling me I'm not fine, God damn it. No. I'm fine. Okay, so that's all we have for tonight. Thank you for coming to this airing. We'll be having it again. Thank you.
Yeah, I brought the software back to the lab for testing, and I think it's been going pretty well since Moon decided to set up a dog spa so we could be here together. But I digress. Our computers were way underpowered to be able to handle all the data. So we contacted the Center for Cephalopod Studies in Australia for help. We had to do some major overhauls of our systems to even send them the data, but once they got their hands on it, they were able to go through, crunch up the data, and then we were able to build a translator out of it.
The following is the first public airing of verbal octopus communication heard outside the confines of the Hopkins Center. It was made of two octopods separated in tank by a heavy fabric screen. The results were recorded as a lab assistant took notes.
Young one, are you around?
Yes, old one.
Can you see the subject?
Yes, old one.
Watch. I'll touch the crab shape on my wall. And you do the same, young one, on your wall. Did you see?
Yes, old one.
Now you touch the shell shape.
Yes, old one.
I'll touch the shell shape. Watch what it does.
I see, old one.
Young one, what have you learned?
Old one, they can be conditioned to respond. But I'm still puzzled. What are they good for?
And time and light and love is ours. The surf, the sun, the wind. Oh, we'll live, we'll love, we'll swim, we'll dance, we'll surf forever. We'll surf forever and ever and ever. We'll surf forever. We'll surf forever. We'll surf forever and ever and ever.